This is the new A8 Pro Max Dual version. Let's unbox it. Same box size, but I like the new graphics. Looks really cool. And check this out. This looks like it was either dropped or punched right through it. This side is perfect. It doesn't say anywhere that's dual. Let's check the other side. Yeah, so we have here this thing sticking out. I like the handles though. And we have the model, the weight, size, and gray 52 volts. Top nicely packed. Just that this exit from the stem is not covered. I think it's supposed to be under here, so it slid off. Just a little scratch, not a big deal. Need some paint touch up, will be fine. So this is how the bike gets packed, and we are missing the front tire. Massive rotors, new disc brakes. Look here in the front, different adapter, and looks like different suspension. Check this out, red seat clamp, red suspension shocks, and matching rear and front calipers. Looks pretty neat. We don't have the front wheel. I think it's going to be sent in a different box, but this is how the bike is packed. The link with discount is in the description box, but don't go there yet. Let's see how this new dual e-bike performs first. Get the front light, set of tools, and the pedals. You get this package and it says here, washer must be added before installing the nuts. Otherwise, it will be a risk. So this is the wrench to use for the front wheel, and you have this washer that needs to be installed to prevent the wheel from coming off the axle. And here how it looks inside, and we have different patterns compared to previous model. And this is the wheel. Look at this disc, holy moly, this is massive. Cable coming from the controller to connect the front motor. Make sure when you install the wheel, the cable sits in this notch right here. This dual monster, it's assembled and it looks massive. Look at the dual Aniioki A8 Pro Max. This front disc brake, it's insane. This is the size of my hand and this is bigger. So this is 300 millimeters. Insanely massive 4-piston hydraulic brake. The front fork is reinforced. The same body frame, 52 volts, 60 amp hour battery, but more discharge, higher amp discharge now available to sustain dual setup. And here in the back, look at this brake here. I like this Megra type copy. Actually, very well done. 4 pistons, and this is 220 millimeters, much smaller. If you look the back and the front, look how massive this is. And this adapter here, this is the biggest I've seen so far on any regular bike, mountain bike, or electric bike so far. And it's almost like a little bit over 1 centimeter of grab. I think you can actually lower it more, so it grabs more. It's not set up properly, but we'll see how the brake works. The same fender, the fork, it's much wider to support this big motor here in the front. And we have new updated parts here. The same super comfortable, super cushioned seat. We have a longer seat post, so it can extend longer for tall people. And we have red touches here by the suspension, also at the stem, and this cool hydraulic brakes. And this is called Mafia. I haven't seen this brand, but looks very well executed. I like the adapter here. So all these red touches make this bike pop. We have the same exact frame, but this motor addition in the front just looks massive. That front brake, it's insane. Just look at the 300 millimeters. This is just way too much. I'm curious to see how it stops and how it works. Yeah, the bike looks better. I think it's better balanced with 2 motors. Let me show you the opposite side view. This freaking bike looks like a monster. The dual setup just makes it look so much bigger, and I have a bunch of updates on this model. Yeah, it gets pretty fast. Look at that. Really picks up speed really well. 28, 29, and here I have to brake because it's too much in the city. I'm gonna try to get to the west side, to the highway. Not really highway, but 40 miles an hour top speed there, or 35, I don't remember exactly, but we'll see how much I can squeeze there. But up here, look at that. Just picks up speed really, really quick. Yeah, this bike is definitely for those that live in very hilly area, mountains, off-road, steep hills, where you need dual traction, this is the bike for those people. Now if you live in the city, I think this is overkill unless you're looking for fun. That's definitely much better than the single option. You get that pull, the excitement, and you get to travel at 40 plus miles an hour. Now we'll see how much we get 43, 44 advertised speed. Without load I hit 44 very quickly, but I think it will be also a good option to offer this bike without the front motor in the rear option configuration with 1900 watts maximum output. That's going to be really cool. Now very smooth, and this bike still, even on a very slow acceleration, I tried to pull the trigger slowly, it pulls hard. It doesn't look in the video, but you can feel the pull because the front also engages. And the front brake, just the front brake, you press a little bit, it just engages right away. I feel like I don't need the rear brake anymore. A little more aggressive. Look at it, it just stops instantly. I feel like only the front brake is enough. The bike just stops and slides. How much I get top speed? Just on the rear hub now, it picks up slower and there's a lot of wind today. Yeah, it feels slower for some reason. Not really enough room here to do it, so I'll have to get to the west side and see if I can get more top speed. The acceleration feels on the slower side today. 2 days ago when I was testing in New Jersey the range, I was able to hit 35-40 way faster and so much easier. Not sure, maybe today because it's colder and it's windy, the bike feels slower. Passing 30 miles an hour I can feel it's just acceleration is dying down slowly, but the bike still keep gaining speed. I'm trying to tuck in here to help with the drag a little bit, but it's not working. And of course, the guy in front of me has to slow down. I think if I had more room, I could have reached slightly higher top speed. Range test. It took me 2 days to complete the test and it was pretty chilly. On the first day, it was about 40 to 45 degrees. I weighed 245 pounds, riding on New Jersey's side at maximum speed between 35 miles to 40 miles an hour. On the second day, temperature was higher, much more pleasant ride, 50 degrees, but still a bit windy, but speeds between 20 to 28 miles an hour. I managed to cover 53 miles, but I think the GPS is connected. The screen on the bike shows 58 miles, and I think this could be a more accurate number. When it comes to range, this is a little tricky. It was showing a few seconds ago 35%, now it dropped to 15, and now it's 8%, and I have 52.1 miles in range so far, and it was going pretty strong. Now the power just disappeared, and I don't know if I'll make it home. I have like 2 miles to make it home, maybe less than 2 miles, but I switched from the all drive to front and rear in the blue, so it's like, I think like it's eco or normal mode. So it still has dual torque, but it's much weaker, and the bike still goes about 20 miles an hour, but you can see it's struggling, it's dying down. So I think in order to make it home I will have to do rear or just front. Let's see, I'm playing to change the settings here. See if I can go into, yeah, it still has torque, even 7% it has torque, kicks in, but it's not very powerful. So let's see here, this is an issue. You see here when it's green you can see it, when it goes gray or bluish you can't see it. So I'll have just front motor and try to see if I can wiggle it and get home at third speed level. But so far 52 miles, 52.4 in the range, and this is the test here all around from New Jersey. I had a lot of torque, a lot of power, it was still going fast, and just now, last like less than a minute, it just dropped to now 6%. So the battery is not a super strong. I mean, it is strong. It is delivering enough. 52 miles, going 28 to 35 miles an hour pretty much for the city, and 40 in New Jersey on those it's not highway road, but it's you know, road that allows you to go up to 40 miles an hour. I think that's not bad, but I would just choose single mode if you do deliveries, or get this model and just remove the front motor. Look at this guy, it's not coming out. And just remove the front motor and have 1900 watts and be able to get 40 miles an hour top speed and get more range, because definitely having only one motor, you'll get so much more range. Yeah, if you get stranded somewhere in the hilly area, you're just screwed. You won't be able to pedal this bike. On the flats, 11 miles an hour, this is doable, and it's not that complicated. I mean, it's not that difficult. You can just kind of like, you know, chill and pedal, so it's not bad. And if you have flats, even with dual system, I don't feel much resistance on flats. It's actually pretty good. Look at this, 11 miles an hour. I can make it home. That's not bad. The brakes are extremely good and powerful. I am surprised with the quality and performance of these brakes. I can only use the front or the rear brake, and the bike stops on a dime. Suspension. The rear shocks are the same exactly as you find on the single motor option, just painted red. The front suspension, if you look at the steering column, much thicker, much beefier. The crown is thicker, the brace is reinforced, the slider feels wider and just more massive. The dropouts are also reinforced, wider, beefier, and you have the safety washers on the axle. The front suspension feels more plush, more travel, and just a hair softer. Also noisier on the rebound. Feels like it hits the top on the return, and that is what makes that loose noise. Besides that, it's much smoother, very comfy, and feels very good at high speeds. The tires, much beefier, much wider. You have this higher profile tread. In my opinion, it's much better traction and better control at high speeds, and this hybrid pattern, it's better for street and also off-road riding. Looks also beefier, it looks so much cooler. And if you're looking here, the reflective line, it's not perfectly aligned. So you need to deflate it and adjust it, otherwise on high speeds you'll get wobbles. On a warmer day, the bike just feels more alive, just quicker. Picks up speed very nicely. Yeah, acceleration is really good on this model. This is a fun bike to ride. Not in the city though. Let's go up over here. Yeah, the power delivery, it's smooth when you start, and then after that, after 5-10 miles an hour, it just shoots up. It's really good. Now, if you're looking for power delivery, if you live on hills, if you live, let's say, somewhere where the roads are bad, and it's mostly like, you know, uphill, you will need this bike. The dual setup picks up speed from the dead stop much faster, much easier. It's a powerhouse. It doesn't spin the tires like other bikes do, but has like very smooth, very steady start up, and then after that, after 5-10 miles an hour, it just shoots up front, just goes straight really fast, which is, I think it's safer because you get used to the speed, and then you kind of like unleash, you know, the monster and get more acceleration, more top speed, which I think it's safer versus just, you know, burning the tires from the start, which is kind of cool, but you just waste rubber and battery. 1, 2, 3. Just follow, just follow. Acceleration, compared to a single drive, it just smokes it from the start. It does not look quick in this video, but the bike is really powerful. Taking into consideration it is 128 pounds, massive moped slash motorcycle, I would say. If this brand can make this bike lighter, the frame and other components finds a way to reduce 20 to 30 pounds, this bike will be so much faster. Alright guys, we have both bikes next to each other, the single and dual, and there's a lot of differences here. Starting from the seat. The same seat, this pole slightly longer. You have a red clamp, over there is black clamp. Suspension, the same. You have black color there. You have here a red touch. This 4-piston brakes, and you have this brakes here in the back. The frame is the same, the rack is the same. The light in the back is different than this light. And we have here much thicker, bigger tread tire versus this tire. And the motor here we have 1500 watts, 1900 watts maximum output. Over there it's only 1000 watts. You can see there markings, 48 volts, 1000 watts. And let's see if I can get the markings here. Let's see if I can zoom in there, and you have there 1500. The same shifter, the same cassette, the chain ring, the same size but different design. You can see this is how it looks on a single. This is how it looks on a dual. Same pedals, same chain, the same shifter as that one. Then the frame, exact the same design. Now going forward, we have the same lights, front and back. You can see here better the tire, so much more tread. The same, actually it's a little bit thicker, it's slightly thicker. Not much, you know, as a close-up, not much difference, but you can see the tread is just makes it look wider and beefier. And here we have the motor. You can see the specs on this side. Zoom in so you can read that, and that's what it says in the motor. Now the front fork. You can see here we have the safety on both sides that we don't have on the single motor, and the front fork it's much narrower. Here is so much wider, and we have this much travel. It's actually, if you look, it's almost slightly taller, maybe like half a centimeter, not a big difference, but this front forks are much wider compared to this. The same handlebar as here, but the brakes we have much beefier, and it says here Mafia. I'm not sure what brand is that, but I like this red touch which matches the front caliper, the rear caliper, the seat clamp, the suspension, and here look at the bracket, massive bracket. This front disc brake is just huge, like almost like a shield. And the lights are the same. The screen is different. You have a much nicer screen, and look here at the wheels. When you change the settings, you can see only rear, only front, and now this is eco, both front and rear, and then both green, that's the maximum power output. And you have 5 modes: normal, eco, eco first, and zero, and sport being the maximum. And you have here run time, the odometer trip, the time you run, and here you have the watts, and here you have the, actually hold on a second, yeah, this is the watt power delivery on both motors, so you can see both motors how much watts it pulls. The same shifter. This is how, you know, it's like a little plasticky, nothing fancy, entry level. There's the console, so you have the lights, the horn, turning signals here, and this is the console on the dual, and this is how the single looks like. You have better grips, I like this grip better. You have the twist throttle, half twist, here is a full twist, and you have disc brakes and standard console, and this is the screen that we have in the single motor. The batteries are the same capacity, 52 volts, 60 amps. This would draw less amps, this would draw more amps, so it can feed both motors at the same time. And that's pretty much what you have on both motors. That single came with the basket, no basket on this one, but you can order that. And you have turning signals on the rear. That's how the brake light looks like. And here you have turning signals on this model, no turning signals on this model, just the active light and the rear brake light. Super loud horn, That's pretty much it. Here, slightly more brightness, and if you look closely here, check this out. Look at the weld here, nicely done, and also good welds here, but different design here on the single. Now look on the front, all this is welded, and if you look on a dual, there's no more welds at one piece, and it's a triangle that welds all around. So completely differently done, and you can see it's hollow, the spacers in between. So it's welded all around one piece that connects to the frame in the front, and it's like triangle piece. Here you see it's welded all around. Now if you look at the wiring, the front wiring on the single motor, you see it's going through inside the frame and feeds inside there. On this model, some of the wiring goes inside, but the motor wire goes outside. So I believe they did that so it's easier to assemble and to service it. And now this connector might not fit for this opening. Maybe it will, maybe not, but you can get the bike and you can run these cables by yourself so it doesn't hang on the bottom. Here I like it how it's flush. See, there's nothing there. And here you probably don't need this connectors. You can just cut them out and run the wires through inside, which will make the bike look better.
Bro, it feels no, I'm serious. It feels like a Tempur-Pedic.
How does it feel?
Like Tempur-Pedic. It feels like Tempur-Pedic. No, I'm serious. It feels like memory foam. Right? It feels nice.
So I did 30 miles today from New Jersey, and my ass doesn't hurt. Any other bike 30 miles, you feel discomfort, you know. So
this is great, dude. That's what people are like. Oh, why don't you ride?
Sit on it.
No,
you can sit.
Damn, dude, look how fucking high. I'm not gonna break.
No, you can like lower it down. Don't break your balls.
Yeah. No, I don't want to do it. I feel it.
No, lower the sit down, bro. Lower the sit down.
Oh, okay, hold on, wait.
Then it'll be fine.
Is this?
Yeah.
This and then...
There's swivel left and right. Put the kickstand.
Yeah.
First time you see a bike, man. Come on.
Yeah, bro. I don't. It's been a while since I've ridden a bike, bro. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's not bad. Woo. Oh, that's nice, bro. That saves the prostate right there. That's nice. No. Seriously, I'm being serious. I used to ride a mountain bike, and like I would literally, I'd have to stand up. Yeah, I'd be like at the end of the ride, I'd be standing, be exhausted. Like, damn, you're not tired. I'm exhausted. I just don't want to have that feeling, you know. That's nice, dude. I could do full weight on my nuts, and I feel fine. Seriously. That's the telltale sign.
Yeah, suspension in the back, suspension in the front.
No, this feels good. Like if I had to like do deliveries all day long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. By the way, it's 300 test right. So.
Yeah, I'm 280. So.
Take it for a ride and see how you feel. Quality-wise, it is a few steps forward compared to previous single motor version. I like the fact that this brand every 6 months to a year improves the existing and brings upgraded new models and is striving to offer us a better product. The dual version, it's a great answer for those that need power and live in areas where the dual system is mandatory. As improvements, this dual model needs the throttle curve delay to be adjusted, and the wheels needs to be better balanced and properly seated to remove the wobble at high speeds. Besides that, this is a super cool bike to own and so much fun to ride. This dual version, it's powerful and impressive in performance. I would like to see an upgraded single motor version with 1500 watts or 2000 watts for those that live in a city and want more speed and power but not compromise on range. These Aniioki models are the best long-range single and dual hub motor options today available on the market. If you're looking for a bike like this, the link will be down below in the description box. Check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.